Vigilante Wisdom here with a very simple question. What direction is Star Wars going in? I say that because it seems like there's divergent things going on. We have this crazy and terrible and cringeworthy holiday special coming up where Rey is supposed to teach Luke Skywalker, and then we have a potential Kylo Ren series. But on the other hand, we have some positive news, some hope. Jon Favreau is doing the second season of The Mandalorian, something I'm both excited about and worried about. First season I really loved. It wasn't perfect, but I actually liked its imperfections. It's a very grayer than a sum of its parts type show, and I really liked it. So I'll get into everything. I have the Lego Star Wars stuff up now, and we'll get into everything else. Basically, this Lego Star Wars holiday special, they're doing a spoof of, and to be fair, I've never saw the holiday special. And also, even though I'm a big Star Wars fan, I love Star Wars, I never saw anything past The Force Awakens and Rogue One. I never saw Solo. I never saw either Last Jedi or The Fall of Skywalker. So that's it with me in Star Wars, because I didn't want to. After I saw like the gifs of Luke throwing a lightsaber, I didn't need to see anything more. I know what happened. I've caught up to the stories, but yeah, I never saw those. Never saw the holiday special. But I digress. Lego's holiday special is a 45-minute special that will reunite Rey, Finn, and Poe. So that's great. And other characters for a new Life Day celebration that nods to the holiday special from 1978. I guess Life Day was what they had instead of Christmas. New holiday special sees Rey and BB-8 exploring a mysterious Jedi Tippo on a quest to gain more knowledge about the Force, but when Rey and BB-8 are sent careening through time and space, Rey has a chance to meet characters from the original trilogy, including a young Luke Skywalker, who's very different from the old Jedi Master she met on Ak. I don't know if I pronounced that right. In The Last Jedi. It becomes a much different take on teacher and apprentice with a more seasoned Rey and a younger Luke. Ryan said it's a celebration of the saga. A lot of characters will be interacting with different characters and perhaps different versions of themselves at different ages. Okay, so a lot to unpack with this. There's a reference to the rumored veil of the Force. It's not rumored, it's actually in the Clone Wars, but there was a rumor of using this veil of the Force, which is potentially what is sending them through space and time to correct or get rid of the Star Wars trilogy. So I wonder if that's like a jab at the fans. We know how much companies love doing that. If that's not having Rey mentor Luke, I didn't see the actual murder of Luke Skywalker. I wasn't man enough to stomach it, and so yeah, I'm not going to watch this, obviously. But it begs to question, like, why are they doing this with their property? It cost $4 billion to buy. They're in tremendous debt, and even if this was greenlit before COVID, which I'm sure it was, I mean, I'm sure this takes a lot of time. I don't know where they were going with anyway. They were already facing backlash from the fans. They were already facing some financial hits, and so I don't know why they would go so hard in this direction. I don't understand it. As this video plays, this ad. Sorry about that. The ad probably has been distracting you the whole time. Sorry about that. I'm a new YouTuber. That's what happens. But back to my train of thought. I don't know why you would ever do this. I don't know why you would green like this. I mean, I get that they're trying to destroy Luke Skywalker. They're just trying to destroy any masculine figure they can and destroy society. Speaking of masculine figures, Adam Driver, Ben Solo, Kylo Ren could return in an upcoming Star Wars movie or TV series. Hopefully not. I didn't like I did see The Force Awakens. I actually kind of liked it. I didn't like him. I know people were supposed to hate it, but I didn't care that it was a bad remake of A New Hope. That's all I wanted, and I was excited. But not for him. He was no Vader. As divisive as Star Wars sequels undoubtedly were, Adam Driver's Ben Solo Kylo Ren is a character most fans were able to get on board with. I disagree. Story's end and the rise of Skywalker was tragic and mostly fitting, but a lot of moviegoers were disappointed he was never given a chance to bring balance to the Force and continue the Skywalker solo lineage. Well, that's because they didn't know what they were doing, and so they just destroyed it. So this is a rumor, a complete rumor. Take this with a grain of salt. And I don't know who Kessel Run Transmission is. Rumor shared by Kessel Run Transmissions, Corey Van Dyke, points to there being plans in place for Kylo Ren's story to continue in some form moving forward. Even though there's a rumor and there's not much below, you have this Twitter. I want you to take you back about 9 months ago. There was a rumor about this as well from We Got This Covered. Take that with a grain of salt. But about Kylo and Snoke returning for Star Wars Knights of Ren TV show. So, even though there's just some tweets from Corey Van Dyke, as far as what we have as the rumors for this show existing, we know that there were at least talks somewhat 9 months ago. And this is a TV spot for The Mandalorian's first season. But there was talk 9 months ago about this. So there's still some of this old guard, and not the real old guard, but this Kathleen Kennedy era old guard who's still pushing some of this craziness that's lost Disney and Star Wars a lot of money. But of course, on the other side, on the light side of the Force, if you will, Mandalorian's Jon Favreau on remixing George Lucas' classic and first live-action Star Wars series, and Baby Yoda's E.T.-inspired introduction. Okay, to kind of skim through it, I think just the reverence for Star Wars is what kind of peeks through. That's just really my point of this article. Where is it? The quote. Reading through a mask is terrible. To explain how he grappled with this pressure, the inevitability of comparison to Star Wars films, which, depending on which ones, if it's compared to the Disney trilogy, is actually, nothing but positive. But he offered an analogy where DJ is playing the Beatles songs. He's the Beatles, referring to George Lucas, and the trick is, how do you recombine that? And so that was his thought process behind this series, that where DJ's playing the Beatles songs. And he's the one saying that he needs to honor the core fans and embrace new fans. And that is not what Disney did. They, at every turn, created a divide between the old and the new. At every possible turn. I didn't see the second and the third movie. I don't get the Raylo thing, I don't get the shipping thing in general. But okay, these fans exist. They're at odds with the traditional fans, with the classic fans, and they shouldn't be. It should have been a place for both of them. So Jon Favreau gets this. He understands this. He says this, we wanted to really wind it back to the things that inspired the original Star Wars and get it really small in scale and tell simple stories, because part of what you inherit when you're going to see Star Wars is this whole history, because stories have been told for decades. That's something that Disney really didn't understand, that there's a history to Star Wars, that the reason anyone who is going to watch Star Wars is because of an interest in Star Wars, the greater canon. Even if they don't know anything about it and they're just watching a TV show or a movie, whatever it is, there is still an interest in this greater universe. And even if they know nothing about it, they want to know more about where it originates. Instead of embracing that while adding on to that universe, Disney in every creative way wanted to damage what came before. And I don't understand why something like this is like revolutionary. But there were a lot of people on the internet, myself included, who were very happy to hear this. But this isn't rocket science. It's a TV show. It's a movie. It's a universe. Just do what we want you to do. I mean, it's funny. Years and years ago, we used to criticize Hollywood for being too samey, for just, going paint by numbers. But a little bit of paint by numbers is exactly what Hollywood needs right now. But I digress. Let me get into this. I think there was another quote I wanted to grab. Yeah, right here. But we always knew, and this is coming from something I learned working over at Marvel and working with Kevin Feige, is you always want to keep the core fans in mind because they have been the ones who have been keeping the torch lit for many, many years. And again, he doesn't want to divide the new audience. But these are also stories for young people and for new audiences. These are myths. And so you always want to have an outstretched hand to people who might not have that background. So this is a basic, simple mentality. Disney only wanted a new audience at the expense of its existing one. And I don't understand. I don't understand why they bought this property just to destroy it. I can only imagine that their belief system is we're Disney, we're this all-powerful God company, and because we are, anything we do will make money, and we want to add this agenda, we want to add this crap. But the worst part about all of it wasn't even the agenda. There was no beginning, middle, and end for this trilogy. If they would have had a plotted out beginning, middle, and end, and executed it, even if we would have got agenda, even if we would have got wokeness, which we really didn't because I don't know what happened to Finn. But even if we wouldn't have gotten the most perfect Star Wars movie, at least we would have gotten a coherent story told. But that's not what we got. We got 3 movies that were not only inconsistent in canon relative to the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy and everything that came before, but that were inconsistent relative to themselves. And again, I didn't actually see these movies. I never will. But I know enough about the plots to know that there were 3 disparate movies that a universe existed outside of, and they're not even really in canon with themselves because there really was no plan. And that seems to still be the problem because we have, on the Mandalorian side, hopefully it stays this way because I still want a good Mandalorian. We have people who understand the fans, understand what they want, and on this side, on the other side, we have Lego Star Wars making fun of Luke. We got to make sure you hate Luke. Got to keep beating down Luke. Why? Do you understand why we watch Star Wars? Do you understand why we love Star Wars? Do you care about that? I know a lot of creators have asked that question. A lot of people have been tired of it. And to be honest, I didn't even know I cared until the new rumors came out. The moment I realized I cared, and shout out to Doomcock, but when he's told about the Lucas cut, the video about the Lucas cut, shout out to Doomcock, that's when I realized I cared. Because in that video, he said there was a scene that was Leia, Luke, and Han. You had their Force Ghosts. And yeah, you would have been digital tricks with Carrie Fisher because she had already passed, but you still would have got a scene with them together. And I don't understand why that scene wasn't in the movie. No one does. And that type of BS, that has nothing to do with politics, that has nothing to do with agenda, that's just mean. That's just not understanding your fan base. That's just saying, you know what, we don't care about you. That's when I realized, you know what, I do still care about this. I do still care about Star Wars. I care. We all care. And, I don't know what's going to happen with the future of Star Wars. If I were to guess, it seems like we're just going to get a bunch of content. Some of it's going to be good. Some of it's going to be bad. You just got to make the decision. Do you want to throw the baby out with the bathwater? And I understand if you do. If you just say, you know what, this franchise has done enough damage, I'm done. Or will you pick around and find the good bits around? And that's a personal decision that we're all going to have to make, and we shouldn't have to make. You would think with everything that's going on, with Disney's financial status not being what it once was, that they would be more focused on the fans, more focused on just making good content. We should have a Darth Vader movie. I thought that was teased after Rogue One, which I actually liked. I liked Rogue One. And they had this great ending sequence of Darth Vader almost as a horror villain, and they never followed up on that. And James Earl Jones is just older, and it's like you never know how long someone has, and I don't know if he has the ability to do another movie. You may lose the voice of Darth Vader without doing a Darth Vader movie, which makes no sense. No sense at all. But that's enough ranting. So that's it for this video. Feels good to do a non-political video because I have a lot of political stuff coming up, a lot of news stuff coming up, and it's all depressing. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're willing to subscribe or share, I would love that. If you hate me, let me know in the comments so I can get better. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching and thank you for your time.